Hello, hello. It's Joy Foster, founder of Pixies, and I'm very excited today to be interviewing a pair of students, a mother-daughter duo, who have been working together to build an amazing business. Welcome, Maria and Teresa. We are so excited to talk to you. And this is the season where people are buying gifts, sending gifts, and you guys are perfectly poised for that. So tell me the story of how you started working together and what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So, what we're doing now is we've just recently, in the last few weeks, launched the Letterbox gift company, which is an online marketplace for small businesses. So that it's a bit like other online marketplaces, where everyone has like an individual shop and they can list their gifts. And the thing is, they have to all be gifts that are letterbox size, but also with like an eco-conscious approach. So like recyclable packaging, like just no single-use plastics, that kind of thing. And they have to be a small business, like startup, really little, just like us. So, but we started working together. So if you go back to the beginning, right to the beginning, I started making cakes. I've always made cakes. I've always enjoyed making them for like friends and family, like for birthdays and stuff. And I would do it a lot, and then family would say, "Oh, you should start selling these." So I started with that quite a while ago, just selling cakes on the side on Facebook and stuff. And then that evolved in 2018. That evolved into Letterbox Brownies, because the idea was I wanted to kind of reach further afield. So I'd get inquiries for cakes, but they were too far away. So I thought, it'd be nice to kind of come up with something that isn't just in the local area. So I started Letterbox Brownies, and ever since 2018, from 2018 to 2019, it kind of slowly grew. The cakes was still more of the main focus, but and I was working as well. So, but then it got bigger and bigger, and there was times when we'd get, corporate orders, and that's when Mum really first started getting roped in, because it would just be like too much for one person. So Mum and Dad and my brother and his girlfriend would all get roped in to help me. But in the end of 2019,
the end of 2019, it's sort of leading up to Christmas. Then it did start to get even busier, and we were doing a lot more because Teresa lives at home. And so I was in a 4 days a week job. And I just thought, you know what, she really needs help. She can't do this on her own, and we can't really employ anyone. And so I thought, and my job, I enjoyed my job, but, I'm not young anymore. I was getting towards retirement age, and I'm thinking, well, it's weird because I said to myself, I want to slow down a bit. The job that I was doing was going to kind of develop into from 4 days to 5 days to maybe even more than that. So I thought, do you know what, I'll leave and I'll give it a go. I'll kind of join Teresa and we'll give it a year. We'll see how long, how it goes. Because I was doing school governor clerking. And governance support. So I thought I can always do that on the side and do a bit of freelance and that. And I was due to start with her in March, April of 2020. And of course, that's when the pandemic hit, and without really any effort in terms of like promotion or marketing or anything, the Letterbox Brownies just did rocket. It kind of, we were so busy, and it was really lucky that I was actually with her and could give my full time to doing that. So that's how the Brownies all started, and then you started thinking about a gift company.
In January this year, I kind of started thinking of ways to kind of expand it, because I'd had ideas of maybe doing like collaboration boxes with other people and like doing brownies and tea or brownies and something else, and I'd given them a few tries, but they didn't necessarily like go to plan or go quite well. And then I thought, well, maybe an easier way to do it and give other people a bit more like freedom as well is to create like a little marketplace where they can just, you know, control their own shop and sell their stuff directly. And with the idea that maybe, like, hopefully, I think beginning of next year, I want to start doing collaboration boxes. But for now, it's just each person has their own shop. So
yeah. And it was the kind of the letterbox gift market did get quite saturated, and still is quite saturated. But we and the likes of Etsy and not on the high street, you know, they are so huge and
well known, yeah.
And so we wanted to kind of try and get a marketplace that was a bit smaller, and you want, eventually your idea was to build up a community, and we could, having gone through all with the brownies, always making sure that they were the packaging was recyclable and sustainable and all that. We thought we can help newer companies that are starting up because when you start, it's not always easy to be, you know, eco-conscious, because it's so expensive at times,
and you might not know where to look.
Yeah.
Again, there's so many different things out there. It's kind of, it's hard to know where to start sometimes.
Yeah. So
not that we're experts or anything, but it's just like, you know.
Well, but I mean, you are further along than a lot of people are when they're first starting that journey. You've already done the starting phase. You understand what that's like, and you can guide people along that. And I think, you know, I mean, I had a mentor who said you only have to be 10% ahead of the people that you're serving, in terms of, if you're helping other people get started, if you're ahead of them in the game, you know more than they do, and you can help them get further along than they could on their own. And that's such a true statement. And I see that happening at Tech Pixies all the time. Now, what I'm curious about is, which one of you found Tech Pixies? I think it was Maria, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me.
and how have you leveraged Tech Pixies to help with the two businesses?
Well, I found Tech Pixies. I did the Bootcamp challenge. And I have to say, I didn't quite manage to do all the challenges during that time. But I kind of got a lot out of it, and I thought this is something. And because for me, I'm not, you know, I knew Instagram, I knew Facebook, but I didn't use them a lot. And but I could see that they would be really useful. All this kind of social media channels, tech, you know, in terms of website and that, to help the business. So that's when I sort of joined, had a great conversation with you, Joy, before joining. And that kind of, you were so nice, so lovely, so supportive. And I just thought, yep, this is a great, and of course the community while we were doing the challenge was fantastic. So I thought, great. So so we've kind of learnt from all the, you know, the modules, the Instagram, the Facebook, and things that even you didn't know before.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah. I wouldn't. You know, I knew how to use Instagram and Facebook, but I didn't use them very often. You know, my personal account I hardly ever use, and then the business one, you know, I would be just posting because I thought, oh, I suppose I should post something. Whereas now we're getting better at it, and we know a lot more. Yeah. That's useful. So it's been really good for learning.
And it was really learning about that, not just to be salesy all the time. That was one of the things I just took away, still taking away, and still trying to work on, because it's that thing about, you know, throw off your invisibility cloak, get out there. I mean, today is like quite nerve-wracking for me, because I'm not used to this, and even truly, I mean, you know, we've been to sort of join networking groups and that, and so we've done a lot of face-to-face networking and Zoom networking, but it's quite different to putting your face out there on social media, and
we haven't done any lives yet.
We still haven't done any lives. We haven't done any reels.
Well, you're doing a live right now, so those of you who are listening on replay, this was filmed live, and we film it live every Friday when we do our lives. They're on Facebook, on LinkedIn, also on YouTube. And at the moment, we're in the middle of a series of interviewing people who have set up small businesses, who sell products, because this is the season to be buying products for your friends and family for Christmas. And and we have some amazing interviews coming up, and we've been doing some amazing interviews already. And I want to celebrate small business and really raise awareness about what you've done. And even if you're not yet coming onto lives and not yet putting your face out onto the feeds, which I'm starting to see you do, which is great. You know, I always say people buy from people, and when they can connect with the person behind the business, you know, Maria, it was like you said, you spoke to me and you knew that it was right, and so you moved forward. And it's like, if I had hid, you know, behind everything, never spoke to you, you might not have chosen to come on board. And I think that's the important lesson here is, you know, telling your story. And that's what I wanted to do, is get the two of you on to talk about your story, how you got started. It's such a wonderful story. And, you know, the shirt I'm wearing here, the Stronger Than Ever shirt, that's from Palm Tiddly Palm. And it's a sister duo that set up that company. And, you know, they have stars on all of their clothes, which is why I love it. And, you know, they're the same like you guys. They had an idea, they got started, and now it's getting bigger and bigger. And, you know, they've even given us a wonderful discount. So Tech Pixies 10, if you go to Palm Tiddly Palm, you can get you can get a discount there when you get stuff from them. And this is what I love, is celebrating these amazing companies that are coming out of, many of them coming out of the lockdown, like yours has expanded with the lockdown. But also what I love is you're not just taking this idea about the brownies and running with that, but you're expanding it to help other people create a life they would love, doing something that they love. And that's what I really think is incredible. And also, you know, I know there's been a huge learning curve, not just for social media, but also for the tech side and building out the websites and, you know, creating the partnerships and all that stuff. What are some of the lessons that you've learned? And has it been worth it? I think that's the question I always like to ask. You know, when people chase a dream, there's always someone who's listening to this podcast who's got an idea in their head and they're thinking, gosh, that's a really good idea. Or I might have even had that idea, but they didn't act on it. So what are some of your reflections on, you know, taking a dream from an idea that's in your head, bringing it out into form and creating it into reality, but actually living that dream? And is it worth it? Has it been worth it? And what are some of the key lessons you've learned from that?
Well, I mean, the Letterbox gift company is very new because we only launched it earlier this month. So, but it was a long time in the planning, and but also the website. It's you kind of, Teresa was really the one that kind of concentrated on building the gift company, building the website with our developer. And I tried to concentrate on keeping the brownies. I sort of kept up with all the brownie orders and keeping the brownie side.
But also, while I was kind of doing that, we were both, but you were doing a lot of like contact finding. People
I spent ages on Instagram finding all these different companies, and often you would find one, and then you would look at the comments and you'd see another company, and I thought, oh, I'll have a look at them. And it was just really great finding out about all these different companies. And I have to say, one thing I did learn there was that the people I got interested in and thought, yeah, I'll kind of get in touch with them, were the ones who had an about us, who had a story behind their, you know, a lot of the accounts were maybe just selling, you know, they were sort of had a product and they might not even write something on there. They'd have a photograph and they just, this is it, you know, and just, it was all salesy. And that was one of the things that when we were talking to some of the other tech pixies, because at one point when we were doing the gift company, setting up the gift company, we thought, we can't do all this. So we kind of put a message out to say, we need some social media help, you know, because although we're learning it and we're doing it, but it's time. So, and one of them, we didn't go with that because we just realized that we didn't have the money to do it. But one of them had a look at our account and said, it's a bit too, you need to mix it up a bit. It's a bit too salesy. You need to get your story out there, which we've been hearing anyway. But in terms of getting back to, I just thought that kind of proved the point of being, you need to tell a story. You need to let people know about you. Because, and particularly with brownies, with letterbox gifts, there is so many out there. So you have to stand out. We're still working out how we're going to stand out.
Well, apart from the fact that you have amazing brownies, and you sent me some samples, and they did not even last long enough for me to make a reel or anything. We just ate them all. They were so good. And I think, I think that's also part of it. A good product that people love, good customer service, and a great community. Those things go a very, very, very long way. And and I think that's something that I've definitely learned. And you're right. If you sell all the time and you're not building up the community and serving the community that you've already sold to, it does damage the brand. But you do it in clever ways. You do it in clever ways, and you introduce things to your audience that might be a good fit for them. And like you said, you have very specific criteria. I mean, at Tech Pixies, I will never recommend or endorse a program that someone could do after us unless either I have done it myself and seen a return on investment, or it's a student of ours who's really got a specialty in something. And, and I think that that's important, because people trust you to guide them. And I think that's also why some of these other ones that have been very successful, that's why they've been successful, because they have stuck to their guns with their criteria, and they've had good customer service, and they tell a great story. And I think their stories are so good. And actually, speaking of which, so where's the love of brownies come from? I mean, I know that's not the that was the starting point, but what's the story behind the brownies?
Well,
So so I mentioned a little bit briefly earlier. It was I was making cakes, and I wanted to kind of find a way to be able to kind of send baked goods a bit further afield. And obviously you can't send like a fully decorated cake in the post. So I had the idea, back then in 2018, like I did my research and I had a look around and to see if anyone else was really doing it. And compared to now, there was hardly anybody. I found a few in America, who just obviously shipped to America, and then I found one or two here. But I thought, oh well, that's something I could do. Like brownies I know that brownies are like good and stable, and like they'll last the journey. Like they last longer than cake. So they'll, by the time they've traveled a day or two, they'll still be absolutely fine.
And everybody loves a brownie.
Well,
most people love a brownie.
We love brownie. And that's the thing. I think it was for a Mother's Day when I was just doing cakes. I did brownie trays, like personalized brownie trays, and people who had bought them, like, oh wow, they were so nice, like really fudgy and like just delicious. So I was like, oh, okay, well I'm good at making brownies then. So I thought that's something good that can be sent. And at the time I was like part of a networking group, and like each week you get to kind of talk about your business. So I thought, well, let me kind of pitch the idea to this room full of people who will tell me whether or not they think it's a good idea. And I did it, and they were all like, that's a great idea, like we'll buy them, we'll send them to our customers, and like as thank yous and stuff. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll give it a go. So I tried to make the website myself, because I kind of rushed ahead, and oh no, actually, to be fair, first of all, I did like a little mini competition just to find 20 people who wanted to sample them, and kind of send a box to, and asked for feedback on like the packaging, which was probably one of the most helpful things we did, because when I first sent out those 20 boxes, they weren't individually wrapped, or they were just wrapped in like greaseproof paper, and I knew it didn't look that great. But by sending them out to people, they then kind of gave me feedback, and it was one person, I wish I knew who it was, but I can't remember. They said, why don't you like individually wrap them in like tissue paper and like put like a label band on them to say like which flavor it is. So then that's, you obviously have seen what they look like. It's like they're individually wrapped in our branded greaseproof paper, and then have like a label band around them. So you know.
And I love those label bands because you've got different colors and you've got little emojis on them and things. So talk to us about some of the Christmas flavors, because there's a whole, you sent me all the different flavors. There's about 8 different flavors. How have you come up with those recipes? And was it a lot of taste testing? And to walk us through some of the names so that people know.
Yeah, so you go.
Oh, no.
With some
Okay.
of them.
Okay, well, the spiced orange and cranberry blondie, because that was another thing. It started with brownies, and then Teresa started with blondies, and getting them right.
Oh yeah, that took a while.
Took quite a while because they're not easy to. They're quite different. They react quite differently to the dark chocolate, because they're made with white chocolate.
And a lot of blondies that we'd had before, and like my friend, for example, she doesn't really like blondies because she's the usual texture is fairly cakey, but when we like perfected our blondie recipe, even she was like, I love your blondies, because they're like fudgy and like they're more kind of like the same texture as the brownies. So that's what we wanted. We wanted to get it like the consistency of like the fudgy.
So we've got spiced orange and cranberry, and there's just lots of spiced, the kind of spices, mixed spice, cinnamon, cloves. So there's spiced orange and cranberry, which is my favorite, I think. We tried a mulled wine, but which wasn't alcoholic. It was spiced grape jam and that, but it didn't quite work. So we didn't carry on with that.
The jam tasted nice.
But
then once baked, the flavor seemed to disappear. So
oh, interesting.
So then we got a mince pie. And again,
that one didn't last very long in my house. My daughter claimed that immediately and ate it.
That's my favorite blondie.
Yeah, that's really good because it's got quite a strong, spice taste to it. And what else? Oh, gingerbread.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of not too gingery.
No.
But we find that gingerbread, you eat it first and you go, it's not very gingery, and then you go,
hits you.
Oh yes, it is. So there's spiced orange and cranberry, mince pie, gingerbread. Is there another blondie? Oh, millionaire shortbread blondie.
Yeah, that's the one my husband ate immediately.
It's a real favourite.
Because there's 3 of them there that are
normal
part of our usual flavours.
Because orange and cinnamon is our normal flavour, brownie, and
salted caramel,
which we do all the time.
Yeah, but they're quite
that one also went really fast. So tell me about the Letterbox gift company and what kind of small businesses are joining. I see we've got Nicola here today who says she's just setting up her Letterbox shop. So it's lovely to see you,
Nicola.
So tell us the kind of businesses that are coming on to sell through your Letterbox gift company.
Well, yeah, Nicola does her biscuits. Look, we haven't tasted them. I have to order some, but they look amazing. They look,
I have had her biscuits as well, and they are amazing.
They certainly look amazing.
Yeah.
And
so we have Nicola with the biscuits, and then there was a few who started off on the very first launch day with us, and that was a company called Purple Bloom Seeds. So they do like it's kind of like they support garden therapy. So they support garden therapy charities, and their boxes include kind of like grow your own herbs and edible flowers kits. So they have like a grow your own herbal bath tonic.
Wow.
Yeah, and a grow your own Italian herbs, and they have about 6, or I think they have 6 different products. And then there is another lady called Sarah who does her company's Hey Up soaps. So she does really lovely like handmade soaps. And then you can buy them you can buy them just as the soaps, or you can do it in, she's got loads of different gift box options. Like she's put loads of options on there, which is great. And then there is a company called the TVs, which is actually another mother-daughter duo. And they create luxury loose leaf tea blends. And I mean, there's more. I'm trying to.
There's Wild Socks.
Who
they donate 30% of their
proceeds
to wildlife conservation charities. And
so
they've got quite a backstory in terms of how they started the business. and now why they've got a couple of range of socks, haven't they? One's marine conservation, and the other one is the savannah sock. So they to wildlife charities like elephants and all of them. But
I mean, there's obviously I know I don't want to take up too much time, but the other ones are the Pink Zebra. She does like junk journals, which are really cool. The Gift PA does like curated gift boxes. Sweet Pea, they've recently come on board, and that's like sewing embroidery kits. And I'm sure there may be someone else, but
we got this Letterbox Sweet Shop.
Oh, Letterbox Sweet Shop,
That's amazing. Well, now we do know that if you want to get your hands on some of the brownies, that you can enter the Fab Box giveaway. So the Fab Box giveaway is available until the 10th of December. So if you go to techpixies.com/giveaway, you can enter the giveaway. And in this giveaway will be stuff from Palm Tiddly Palm. I think we've got earrings and running headbands. We've also got your brownies and quite a few other amazing treats in there. The normal Tech Pixies Fab Box stuff, which includes our highlighter and our candle and all, the snug and everything else. So definitely and a star scarf, everything else. So if you guys, you'll be going in there as well, which I'm so excited about. So if anyone hasn't entered yet, they've got until the 10th of December to enter, and then they can taste your brownies. But also, apparently, it sounds like among all the other amazing things you sell at the Letterbox gift company, you've also got an awesome brownie advent calendar. So tell us about that.
Well, so that was kind of a new idea. Just what we'd try it out this year. I don't think it's actually on the website anymore. I removed it this morning just because we have to send the first one out tomorrow. So it's but we've sold a few of them, which is good. I actually just thought if we sell one, that'd be great because it's brand new. So we've sold a few of them, and they're basically sent out in 2 different boxes, obviously to keep them fresher for longer. So we send out the first one tomorrow. That will see you through from the 1st to the 14th, and it's our snack size options, and they're wrapped in their usual paper, so you'll know which flavour's which. But then they're also just wrapped in a bit of eco-friendly Christmas paper, so it's like opening a little present each day.
And
then
putting
on them.
So
and then sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say then this second box, when the second box gets sent out, there's more snack size, but in the 3 days, the last 3 days are 2 are bigger ones, and then the last one is a big one for Christmas Eve. So
big special Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow. Well, I have to say, I love what you're doing, and I love that you're part of our community. It's really wonderful to see people chase a dream, not just have a dream, but to blueprint it, to design it, to build it, to launch it. You've done all of that. And,
it's not easy, Joy, though. It's, but
no one said following your dreams was easy, but is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Well, that's insane. And that's what's been great about the Tech Pixie community and being part of Tech Pixies as well, is that all the life coaching calls, all the support you get in the group, and the kind of people have their own stories, and you can hear from how they've got on, and it's all about, you having faith in yourself and just keep going, because there are times, and there have been times in the last few weeks where we've just both been just completely deflated, and then you just think, nope, we can't just do nothing. We've got to keep going, and I say the Tech Pixies is, and you found the
I think I find the life coaching like the most kind of.
Teresa is amazing.
Yeah, she's great. Like, I just love her sessions. Like, if I'm ever feeling a bit kind of like underwhelmed or deflated or not motivated, I feel like when I listen to one of those, I feel a lot more confident. And also actually the workshop that you did last week, I love that. I thought that was great.
Oh, I'm getting your first customer or your first social media client.
What's that?
What?
The vision workshop.
Oh, the vision workshop. Oh, yeah. No, that went really well. In fact, we're going to run another vision workshop. I'm not sure if it's going to be in December or if it's going to be in January, but definitely we're going to be running those once a month because they were massively impactful. And, you can come back and do it again and again and again and just clarify that vision and get really clear on it. Yeah. I mean, that's, I would say, Tech Pixies is not just about the social media. We've always said that. It is about the mindset as well, the shifts you need to make in order to be successful, not just in social media, but in life, the things you need to do to, a lot of people have, especially women, they just, and I don't want to pigeonhole, but we as women, we often come from a caring role. We often come from a role where we're looking after everybody else, and we're not really, we don't really feel like we can, we're worthy of charging for our time or that we deserve to be paid, because generationally, and we're not talking about like decades or, centuries. We're talking about millennia of women not earning and not being, not owning their own businesses, properties, bank accounts. I mean, it's been only in the last 50 years that women even can have their own bank accounts, right? So we're making tremendous progress in a short period of time, but you're talking about generational, things that we need to change. And from an epigenetics perspective, we have to change it. This has to be the generation that changes it. We change our mindset, the children after us then benefit from that. And I think that's what we've been doing at Tech Pixies, is a lot of that subconscious reprogramming, a lot of, really getting clear on the vision, really getting clear on the next step, and also understanding the underlying universal laws that affect the way that we move forward or don't move forward, right? And the things that work within the subconscious that prevent us from moving forwards, and how we can consciously change that. And I think, this powerful combination of neurocoaching, life coaching, vision building, dream building, all of this together, once you've got that in line, getting the skills that's the magic combination, to then take your tech skills and make it become a reality. And I love that you have pursued this and that you've continued to move forward with it. And I love the family aspect to it. And I also love the heart. You really very carefully picked who's in your gift company. And I think that's going to serve you so well in the future. I want to thank you both for coming on board, going on and doing your first live. Lisa's here today. She says, really brave to do your first live today. You sound confident. And Becky also wants to acknowledge you for thinking about packaging at the front end rather than just as an afterthought. We've had some lovely ladies join us, Harpreet and also Christina, who's now wishing she could have bought a brownie advent calendar retrospectively. So Christina, you'll have to wait till next year, but I do hope you will do your advent box next year.
Put it back on the website.
We might do a part 2 because it comes in 2 sections, 2 parts. So we might do a kind of the second 12 days,
Yeah.
Sort of.
The 12, yes, I think that's a great idea. It's like the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. So we might do that. Yeah.
I think you should do that. Yeah. Well, as a reminder, for those of you who haven't entered the giveaway yet, you've got until the 10th of December to enter. I think we've got almost 250 entries already, and we're giving away 5 boxes. So there's a really good chance that you're going to get a box if you enter. And of course, you get to try the brownies that way. But also, where can people find you if they would love to get their hands on some brownies or some other gifts for Christmas?
So it's you can find us at www.letterboxgiftcompany.co.uk. And the brownies in particular, if you go to shop and then buy sellers, you'll see all the companies, and then Letterbox brownies, you'll see them there, and you'll find our shop. But there's lots of you can have a look at all the different sellers.
But there are a lot. You just have to be careful because there are a lot of Letterbox gifts companies out there. So that is the
That's it.
That's the
one.
Letterboxgiftcompany.co.uk, and that is where you will find all of these amazing gifts. Thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure.
so much.
First live.
Yeah, we did.
Well done. You survived your first live. Maybe that's what we should have, is some kind of a, if Lisa's still watching, we should have a survived my first live badge or something like that.
That's a good idea.
Thanks.